everyone. Thanks so much for stopping by at the Peppered Peach today. We're going to be checking out some vanilla cake donuts from Magnolia Cookbook volume number 1. We're doing another throwback today with some donuts. And I love donuts, especially just classic vanilla cake. Sign me up. I have not made these yet, so it'll be an experiment for all of us. So I have all of our ingredients right here. Let's get this party started and try out some donuts. All right, so our first step is to take some flour. So I have 2.5 cups, right? Yeah, no, 2 1/4 of a cup of flour. And this is cake flour, so make sure you get the cake flour and you don't use all purpose. And then we're gonna put in some baking soda, which is a teaspoon. And then we have half a teaspoon of baking soda, a full teaspoon of baking powder, and the kosher salt and some nutmeg. Yep. And we're just going to sift this together. All right, and then we're going to put this off to the side because we are going to whisk together our eggs and buttermilk and some butter. So, there we go. So, we are going to take the egg, 1 egg. Okay. The buttermilk, the granulated sugar, which is how much? 1/2 cup. Wow, okay. Until smooth. So let's whisk away. Get this all combined. Now, so the next thing that we're gonna add in is the vanilla. So you can use a vanilla bean. I do have vanilla bean, but I do like this paste. So I am going to use, and she says you can use it. So I'm gonna use, I think it's a teaspoon. Yeah, a teaspoon. Sometimes I would throw in like 5 teaspoons of this because it's so good. But we will stick with 1. We're gonna follow the rules today. And we'll whisk this together now. And I need to add in the melted butter until smooth. Oh, smells vanilla-y. Smells good already. Okay. Now we're going to add in our mixtures together. So we will take the vanilla and egg and butter and mix that with our flour mixture. I think I need a bigger whisker. I think this is cutting it. I don't think. I think it's time for another whisker. What do you think? Be right back. All right, we're back. So I am just gonna get rid of this one. You were good while you lasted. It's not what I need right now. We need to upgrade. All right, so now let's whisk. Probably don't need this anymore. What does she say? Let's see, add the melted, okay, and stir. Maybe that's the problem. I am going to stir. It's all right. You know, I was following the rules until I wasn't. So let's get a spoon. No big deal. If this messes up, it's this step, guys. All right, so let's get this all together. This is like a moment where I just would rather just use my hands just to make sure. Let's get in there. I'm using my hands. But you know what? This is where it's at. So much easier. We have to knead it anyway, so I might as well just do this, right? Okay. I'm gonna move this onto here. Could use a little bit more flour, but I'm gonna knead it like this. All right, so I'm gonna get a little space here because we're gonna have to roll this out so into a little disc. So let me get rid of this stuff, get this onto a flat surface, and then we'll start kneading away and rolling it out. Okay, so now we're gonna make our donut. So I have this out on a floured surface. I'm gonna roll it out. She says to roll it out to 1/2 inch diameter, I wanna say. 1/2 inch thickness, yeah, okay, not diameter. Thickness. How many is this supposed to make? That's the question. How many people am I gonna have to share this with? It smells really good. 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit more. Annie, what do you think? Do you think that's a 1/2 inch? Okay, I think that looks good. Yeah, okay. So now she says pat or roll. Okay, then we're going to get this going. So I'm an Eagles fan. So go Birds. Congrats on the Super Bowl this year. And I'm gonna cut these. So I am going to do this. Okay. You're wondering, why does she have a shot glass? It's here so I can make the little donut hole. So let's go around. Now we're going to put our thing with our shot glass. Of course we're gonna make the donut holes. I mean, you can't not make the donut holes. You know what I'm saying? All right. I am going to make some more donuts out of our leftovers. And that involves more flour, getting a pan to put these donuts on, and I'll keep going, so stay tuned. Okay, so our oil is heated. We have about 2 inches in there. It's supposed to be around 360. It's at 363. I think we're good to go. I am nervous about these donuts. If you remember maybe last year we made donuts or we made something, and I don't remember what it was, but they never rose. They just became like flat discs. They were very tasty, but they did not expand. So let's cross our fingers while we dip this in our very first one. Are we ready? Okay. One's in. 2, and it's a minute per side. So I'm just gonna, she says not to crowd it, so I'm only gonna do 4 right now. I don't wanna mess this up. I want donuts. I want vanilla cake donuts. So, minute's on. Let's see what happens. I was just expecting it to like puff out a lot, you know? Or we need to wait for a little bit for it to rise. I was waiting for that step, and that step wasn't here, so I'm hoping something magical is gonna happen in the oil. All right, I'm gonna flip. They rose a little bit. They're not flat discs, but I wouldn't call them a traditional donut, but better than what we saw before, so I'll take that. I also have a pan here, so we can pour them out right directly onto this pan. I'm gonna put some towels down just so it absorbs all that oil. And now we wait. I almost feel like I want to double them up, but let's see. No, they actually look a little thinner than I would like a donut to be, but it's see what happens. It's almost like when we roll it out, I almost think that instead of a 1/2 inch diameter or thickness, I think we need to do maybe like an inch. But this one actually came out pretty good. Look at that. That's not bad. These have not really, don't have that same amazing texture, or thickness, I should say. This one looks better. All right, we shall continue. Okay, I came back over here. Our oil is still going. So I am going to quickly roll out the rest of our dough. And I'm not gonna make it as thick, because I think that was the trick. So in the book, she says to do this at a 1/2 inch thickness, but I'm gonna go for an inch, because the one that came out that I purposely made a little thicker looks perfect. And now I need to get a cup. It may not make as many donuts, but I'm telling you, this might be the trick. This is real-time fixing, okay? We are here live for this kind of fix. You just gotta adapt, you know? Just gotta go for it. And I think we can do this. We can do this. Of course, I need another shot glass. Probably one more. All right, now let's try it. All right, 1 minute, and we'll go back and we'll, of course, make these donut holes. So I am glad I did that, because they are thicker now. So you see, like, these are like so thin, you know? And then you see this one, and you're like, this is what it should look like. So let's take these out. I'm glad we did that, because these look better in terms of thickness. Then we have just one last donut, and then we have our donut holes. Donut holes. Our last donut. All right. Okay, so now while that is cooling down for a quick sec, we're gonna make our glaze and then get to try them out. All right, so our donuts are all here. Look how nice they look. Again, look how thin these are. And the donut holes look perfect. Okay, so I'll shut up and let's make the glaze. So we're gonna use a cup of powdered sugar and maple syrup. We're gonna mix this together, and then we're just gonna dump this over our donuts. All right, there's our glaze. It smells mapley and it's nice and smooth. So let's glaze. There's no real pretty way of doing this, unless I'm not doing it right. But she just says to spoon over, so that's what I'm doing. Smells like breakfast because of the maple syrup. Okay. If you need more if you need more glaze, you can always make that super easy. All right, I'll clean up, wash up, and then let's try them out. All right, it is time to try our vanilla cake donuts. I'm gonna go for this one. You know, this had my eye on it for a long time. All right, let's try. Okay. I like this. I'm very happy that I went back and made these a little thicker. I would not be okay with a disc donut. But I like the flavor a lot. I love the vanilla bean you can taste in there. The maple syrup, I do like. Could I do without it? Yes. Or I would put it on the side so I can dip it maybe and not have it just on top of it. But it's very, very tasty. I would definitely make these again. I am going to eat the rest of this donut for sure. It's very tasty. So if you make it at home, let me know what you think. I'd love to know what you think about the maple syrup glaze on top, and if you like the cake donut. So you know where I live, you know where I'm at on YouTube. So come check me out. Thanks so much for coming by to the Pepper Peach, and I'll catch you next time.